Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show right now is a social innovation expert and convener, Inspire Lagos Food Market, Abiola Adebajo, and Joy Adewuyi. Yes. And she's a business thought leader and member Central Working Committee, Inspire Lagos Food, Joy Adewuyi. They'll be speaking about the Inspire Lagos Food Market. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So let's start with what the concept is before even going to how it's funded. What does Inspire Food Lagos mean? What is
Inspire Lagos Food Market is an innovative initiative for people to be able to get food, affordable food this time around across Lagos State. And we are bringing timely relief to people living in Lagos with regards to the hardship out there, the economic hardship. And that's what we're working on.
Okay, it reads that you have food stuff subsidized up to 50%.
Yes.
So where is your funding? What's the funding for the food market like, and what are your funding goals?
Okay, so just like you said, this is food subsidy. It means that you are purchasing your food, but at a price slashed rate. And our funding comes from funding organizations, philanthropy, individuals that want to actually contribute to alleviating food insecurity, just the stress and unrest that is going on within the economy.
Okay, so what are the specific groups or communities that you hope to support, you aim to support?
All right, so our focus is on middle to low income families, the underserved people. We, from my experience, volunteering during the COVID response team, we realized that there are people who, if they don't leave their house on daily basis, they cannot get the food portion that their house, and their household, would consume on daily basis. So the focus is on these people that would be able to purchase in, small quantities and portions and consume over a period of time.
All right, so let's talk about where's the food coming from? Where are you getting the food? Because you're going to subsidize food for me. How do I know the source? Are you importing it, or do you have a farm in your house? How is the
Okay, so what we have done is that we are bringing the same market that people go to buy food. We are bringing it to the communities. I mean, we're having vendors, people that already sell food. They register with us, so they bring their food and they sell at our price. But we actually use the monies that we collect around to balance them, so there's no loss. They don't get to have any loss.
Abiola, you're bringing your Igbo now. Is that possible?
So we're bringing vendors that are close to your community.
Exactly.
So they leave their shop, they leave their market stores, come to the sites where the market exists, and then they can sell to you at the normal rate, but at the 50% price.
You ensure that 50% of their market goods are paid up front, so they sell.
So the idea is, as a beneficiary, you are going to buy at 50% the price rate, but for the vendor, we are going to pay them in full.
Wow. Where are you getting the money from?
So we have sponsors, we have philanthropists supporting what we're doing. We are even crowdfunding. We're being supported by all sorts of organizations, even NGOs. We reach out to, in fact, when we launched out, we got a lot of people reaching out to us already. We didn't even have to go to them.
So how do you ensure long-term sustainability of this initiative?
Okay, so we have our teams. We have, just like in a normal corporate setup, we have people working to make sure that it's being sustained well. So we have different groups. We have a marketing team. We have people creating content, creating all sorts of strategy to continue to make sure that we'll...
In addition to our plan for sustainability will also be to continue to crowdfund, because it's a need. This is an initiative that we, come together as Nigerians to put out, because we know that this is a dire need. Food inflation price or rate is about 40.2% or 8% today. There are people, and the truth is we're even going into the harmattan season. If you are not eating, your immunity is not going to be so high, and then you're going to also get sick over time. So sustainability is continuous, access to aid from different people, volunteers, sponsorship, development agencies, and so on and so forth.
So I'm looking at your logistics. It takes, there's no how for any business person who sells food, you put some cost inside, and logistics is one cost that spikes the cost of food. So how do you help these marketers carry their goods across your local governments that you're intended, what's the cost like, and who is bearing that?
Okay, so some of them actually come from same local governments. They don't necessarily have to travel from one local government to the other. We have vendors all across everywhere. So they actually know how to transport their stuff. It's just a day market, so they just find a way to...
That means prices will vary. For instance, I live in Amu, but I shop in the Ojo. It's cheaper. Sometimes I shop at my 12, it's cheaper. Because if you shop at Abuja Market, you have a certain bank account. So if you were bringing marketers from that place, how would you control pricing to be equal?
Okay, so I would like to talk about the fact that these guys don't get to have losses at all. Someone that is in his shop selling rice, for instance, would probably sell like a bag or two within a day or two. But at our sites, they are able to sell up to 30, 40 bags. And they are not making any loss. So they are actually happy to come, regardless of whatever costs they put in. Do you understand? So they actually make a lot of...
Let's talk about community engagement. How do you plan to get people to know that you exist? And how do you plan to be part of this initiative?
So from our first experience at our press launch, we realized that it's so easy for us to find people. Because when people hear you're buying chicken at 50% the price, they are like, where do I find this? In fact, one of the products that got finished was yam. Everybody wanted to buy yam because they couldn't believe the price at which they were going to buy yam. A chicken, 1 kg of chicken was sold for about 2,500 or 3,000,
2005.
And you said what? Yeah,
and that's exactly how
As in a place, something. I mean, where is the place?
So we're moving around.
That's how good it can get if we get the help that we
Joy,
need.
help me understand. So, Inspire Lagos Food Market, you're moving from community to community.
Yes.
So, for example, you say, on Monday, I'm coming to Koshofel
Exactly.
and I'll be here.
Yes.
And everything we are selling here is at 50% off.
Yes.
Exactly.
How do we know that? Are you doing the media campaign? How we know?
Of course, the media campaign, we're all out on the streets advertising, at least like a week before we get to a location. Everyone already knows.
Is there a schedule we can
Give us
follow?
your
Because
social media.
my miss, is there a schedule we can follow?
There's actually no
on Mondays,
schedule.
there are these, on Tuesdays, there are here. Is
There's
that
actually no schedule. We just announce, it's usually weekends. Either Saturday or Sunday. We liaise with the local council. We plan everything with them. In fact, today we're meeting with another local government. We're planning already for
How do you manage
local
crowds?
government.
Because there has to be.
How do you manage
Crowd, yeah.
the crowd? Okay, so what we have done is all our vendors, like for rice, it's not one place. You're not buying rice in one place. We have like 10 vendors for rice. We know the quantity that for instance, we're doing 200 bags for a market. So each vendor is probably bringing 20 bags, another one 20 bags, another one maybe just 15 bags, according to their capacity. So the same thing applies to all the staples, all the commodities. So it's spread across all we're using a very big space. So we have our way of setting up, and we have volunteers helping around. For one marketplace, we have probably like 120 volunteers. We have security in place, we have health guys in place, we have everything in place to make sure that there's no stampede or there's no, and all that.
Yes, so okay, let's talk about impact measurement.
Yeah.
So how do you measure, or how are you currently measuring, and how do you plan to, continue to measure the success of each one that you do, each of the Inspire Lagos food markets?
Okay, so we actually have budget for each marketplace that we're going to, and then we also make sure that, of course, we know what we're planning for, and then we plan ahead very well. And another thing is we're partnering with some data agencies like LASRA, for instance. We encourage all our beneficiaries to get LASRA. In fact, if you don't have LASRA, you may not be able to shop at our market. So that way, we already know you. Do you understand? So we can measure our impact through that very easily.
Also, the numbers of people that we aim to reach over quarters, right? Because we're planning to run this for the next 18 months, right? So for each quarter, we aim to be able to have reached up to 150,000 families
At the
different
least.
communities.
So what does the future look like for you? Where do you see this? What's the idea? What's the bigger picture? Because I see you're trying to help people. What's the bigger picture?
So as we project into the future, the price of fuel has currently increased. So even some of the data that we say that we're working with currently is like old information because we don't know what is going to happen in the next few weeks. The price of tomatoes, we can't even tell what it is going to be. So this is something that is essential for us to have. If you have funds that you can use to help people, if you are in the diaspora, know that the relatives, the uncles and families that you know that a lot of them can't have their 3 square meals. And so we believe that Nigerian youths, we have to continue to come together to collaborate, to assist and help ourselves because it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Food inflation continues to rise.
Okay. 3 square meals was 20.
Someone is saying-
Don't that train has passed. It's now 2 square meals for the past, but now people are now struggling with
I
one.
think to clear
Old
this
gist.
online, Adebanke Poroku says it's Poroku. Sorry, it sells 25% rate at Unilag. Why not make it 50% and make it equal? So is there a variance between the percentage that you cut off?
No, we did 50%.
It's 50%.
It's 50%.
Strictly
Let me
50%.
Also,
ask
someone said you should drop your social media handle.
So let us know how to reach you. How do they?
Inspire Lagos Food Market at Inspire Lagos Food Market. That's it.
And then that's where people get all the details to know
All
when
the-
next
yeah.
it's happening.
How do you get paid? How does money come into
Yeah,
your
your
pocket?
salaries.
Okay, so we're basically running a social enterprise. If it were an NGO charity stuff, it will probably be free. Everybody come and take food and all that. But it's a social enterprise, right? So that's why we still actually collect money, but even though it is half. And every social enterprise have their ways of actually still maximizing profit.
Stipend
In
for
our
volunteers.
in our case now, we have stipend for volunteers. We make sure that we pay everybody around. So there's like a certain percentage of everything that we call it that goes into,
Operational.
operational.
So let me be
and all
so that I'll make sure that our viewers understand. So you are coming to the show today and you are telling us that Inspire Food Lagos is an entity that provides food, that sells food to us at 50%.
Yes.
Go to your social media pages to know where you'll be next. So for example, you might be
Exactly.
coming to Festac tomorrow now.
Exactly.
So Festac, we now find out from your social media the venue. Get there. All the things that we're going to buy there is going to be at 50%. And then everybody will be monitoring you to know where next you're going to so they can follow you.
Yes.
In
Buy
fact,
food.
each local government, they definitely know when we're coming because a week to or 2 weeks to, we're already
But as Nina
everywhere.
said, crowd, because now that we are
Sure.
also then on your view, I can
crowd,
guarantee everybody now knows. We don't want, because me, when I see crowd, I run away.
For each market day, we are planning for 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people, depending on how much funds we have.
Yes.
That
Then,
comes and leaves.
of course, when the food is finished,
Finish.
it's
Everybody
finished.
will go.
Maybe within 3, 4, 5 hours, a lot of people would have been.
If they don't have last ride, they can't buy. Do you need any
For now,
identification?
we data is very important. We need to be able to measure our reach. We need to be able to have some level of control. For instance, round tripping is something that we frown at. We don't want people coming to buy and then come back again and say we have not bought
Or even
another
to
boat.
sell, to resell.
To resell and all that. Another thing is that you can't come to a market and say you want to buy a bag of rice. No. Well, you can't get more than maybe like 3.
5 kg.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
maybe like 3
portion.
buckets.
Everything is
Do
portion.
you understand? Because we envisage that should be enough for an average family.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing for all the
Okay.
Adnan
staples.
says,
One second.
Okay, so like what challenges are you currently facing and what other challenges are you anticipating? Your long term.
The challenges that we are facing is literally fundraising because we need a lot of money to be able to put projects like this. The number of people who are hungry, underserved, cannot find food to eat today are a lot. If you've had coffee this morning, it means that you have access to
The hunger is very
So
loud.
we need to continue to get access to funds for us to be able to push this project forward.
So there's a rich man or rich woman watching the TV right now. Say, you know what? These young guys are young. They're doing something good. So how can they reach you to call? You know what? I want to support. I want to send you money.
Okay.
What do they do? What's the number they
Can we
find?
put, 080 67 543 640. 080 67 543 640. That's our number.
So they can
We're always
reach you, they
reachable.
support you.
Always
they say your
reachable.
market is not for people like me. I'm stealing from the
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Thank
That's
you.
what-
This is a very good initiative. And I wish you the best. And I
Thank
really
you
hope
very
indeed
much.
that people our lives are touched by what you're doing,
Yes,
because
thank you
Chicken
so
25, I'll be rushing there. Once I know your venue.
It's not even 2.5. It's one
Everything.
called it.
No, it's
it's
2.5.
2.5.
Out there it's 5,000, so automatically.
I don't buy
at that
chicken,
side it's
they're selling
2.5.
chicken 10,000 in some areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turkey is
But
7.
people are asking, like, do you have plans to replicate this in other cities, or is it just
Yes,
Lagos?
someone's asking.
For now, we are called Inspire Lagos Food Market.
Inspire Anambra,
It's
but it's
Lagos-centric.
Okay, Lagos.
We just want Lagos to be fine for
Fine
now.
first.
But you can have partners in other states.
Of course,
We can
of course.
share
Free
the
of model.
format
Yeah,
and
format.
concept
Yeah,
with,
sure.
and they can actually replicate
Yes.
it.
Sure,
That's
sure.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming. We like when young people are doing
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
some Gen Zs that come late to work, but you obviously.
And we want to say thank you. We want to say thank you to TVC for having us.
I really felt it.
Let's go on a short break, and we come back. We continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.